Hello and welcome back to my channel. I just finished filming a Primark haul in which you saw that I've bought a few lipsticks, few nail varnishes, and most importantly really cheap Primark eyeshadows. I started opening them and I thought, why am I not recording that I'm opening them? Because I have noticed that whilst opening them, there is a lot of eyeshadow broken off and stuck to the pan on the outside. So I'm going to take a little bit of a makeup wipe or something like that and just wipe the pan, and I'll show you how dirty the pan is. So the eyeshadow is like all around the pan, the bottom of the pan. So bad. Which unfortunately could indicate that the eyeshadows are really chalky and powdery. And I was like really hoping that they would be good. Well, not good. But like I said in my previous video, I hoped they weren't going to be bad. Unfortunately, it looks like they might be. So after cleaning all the pans, this is my cotton pad. Ugh. Already pretty bad. The shades that I've chosen were Bone, which is like a matte bony shade, slash white. Let me swatch that. Feels quite okay. And it looks quite pigmented on my finger, but it's definitely not fully matte. I would call this a satin. It's not crazy pigmented. The next shade is Baked, and again it's seems to be quite smooth. Doesn't look bad on the finger. Ooh. And Swatches pretty well. Brick, that's not a brick colour. Pretty smooth, not bad on the finger. Swatches really well, really like them. Then I thought, let's check out some funky shades, and then I took this pink one which is called Vermilion. This one seems to be a little bit more chalky, which is pretty well, and this would look stunning as a blush, I think. Again, it's a bit more satin finish rather than fully matte. And then the last matte satin, which is the Carbon, and I'm going to use my pinky for this. This one's definitely a little bit more kickback in the pan, but it seems to be very pigmented. Oh, a lot of fallout on my hands, but it's not bad. The undertone I don't like, it looks a bit green. The only shimmer that I managed to find in the store that I went to was Sunkissed, which is your standard copper gold. Seems to be very pigmented actually. Whoa. I am actually so surprised, and there's a lot of like flyaway, so it could have a lot of fallout. Colour wise though, amazing, love it. I've got my hope back. When I took them out, they were all like covered. I was thinking, oh my god, that's the video gone. Let me wipe all these swatches. It comes off pretty well. They don't seem to have stained the black is quite pigmented because my hand is black now. Let me clean that up first. So I don't really know what look I'm going to do, but let's just start and see where it takes us, shall we? So I'm going to take a fluffy brush and take the Bone shade to see how pigmented it is. A little bit of fallout in the pan, and see what it looks like on the eye. I like it so far. It's quite brightening, so it could be a good matte highlight. I like to use these colours to set my eyes. This allows me to blend a little bit better later on. Doesn't seem to be too powdery. I like it. By the way, when I went to Primark, I was trying to find more of these brushes, and I don't think they sell them anymore. These are probably like one of my favorite brushes. Anyway, I'm gonna take the tip and dip it in baked. The tiniest bit of kickback, but kind of in a normal range. And I'm gonna stick it in my crease. I'm gonna take the tip and dip it in baked, and I'm gonna stick it in my crease. So straight away I can tell that the pigment has grabbed onto this bit of my eye. I don't know if you can see that. Let me build it up a little bit. The pigment again has grabbed onto this bit of my eye. It doesn't look terrible, but I'm not able to smooth it out, so not the best so far. So it's a bit like, you know, when you've had a blush and you dipped your brush in and you stuck it on your face and it's in one spot kind of thing. So like the first initial place where you've put the pigment doesn't blend. This is what's happening here. So if I placed my eyeshadow here first, it grabs onto it, even though I've set it with the bone shade. So either the bone shade doesn't really protect the pigment from sticking onto certain areas, or the pigment itself just doesn't want to move. And you have a slight ability to blend it, but it's not right. But now I'm going to take the pink shade on a different brush. They seem to be quite pigmented. This one's chalky on the eye, but it blends quite well. More of that pink, and in the crease you have to work a lot, and they still grab, but the pigmentation is there, and realistically for 60p, no complaints. They did also have a large variety of shades in there, so I'm going to take more. I'm going to change my brush again, and I'm going to take more baked to kind of blend the edges a little bit more. Like I said, not the best pigmentation, not the brightest of shades. They don't blend super easily. For 60p, they're pretty good. Now I'm going to take Carbon. They seem to be quite pigmented on the brush, and I'm just going to stick it here, almost like a liner. The black doesn't want to move. It almost, they don't blend together. The black just fades away. Which is not really what I wanted, but let's keep going. Intensify the pink. Transform that black into more of a purpley shade, which I like. So yeah, you have to build it up quite a lot, which is a good and a bad thing. I'm going to take that black and put it in my crease. tiniest bit because I want it to blend nicely. And that pink again. I really want to try this shimmer, so I'm going to take it with my finger, and I usually do that with a lot of shimmers. So let's see. It'll fall out, and it's quite a nice colour. It is quite powdery feeling. Yeah, there's quite a bit of fallout. Almost can feel like I'm breathing it in. More pink, and just blending it in the crease. Take Baked and put it underneath my lower lash line. Build that quite heavily. I'm going to bring it quite low. Now I'm going to take this angled brush, and I don't even know who it's by, but it's an angled brush, almost like a definer definer brush, and I'm going to take Brick and put it quite close to my lash line. Definer brush again, and I'm going to dip it in carbon and only put it 1/3 in, and again I'm going to blend it all together. I'm going to take that definer brush and more carbon on the top lash line. So my final thoughts. Overall, no, just don't bother. I would recommend buying Coastal Scents, which is a US brand of single eyeshadows. Yes, it turns out to be a little bit more expensive considering you have to pay for shipping and maybe customs. I personally didn't get charged customs. Let me try and give it one more shot and highlight my brow bone with Bone. Yeah, it's not that pigmented. It's not. It's more like the shade that you use literally just to set your primer or your concealer or any base that you use for before putting your eyeshadow. 60p, fair enough, you can buy Bone. The black, yes, it's black, but when you try and blend it in, it just blends off almost. I just had a bit of fluff there. It blends off rather than blends into your skin. The shimmer was okay, but it was flaky and it had a little bit of fallout. It's not crazy pigmented. You could probably foil it, but if you're using 60p eyeshadow and foiling it with Max Fix Plus, that's £18, you might as well use an eyeshadow that might not even need Fix Plus to help you. So that's out the way. The pink, I had to keep rebuilding because every single time I've tried to blend it out, it was just blending off again. I didn't use a lot of Brick. It was okay. For 60p, it was fine. 3 shades that potentially could be worth buying was Bone. And you know, you're kind of buying it to say that you have a separate eyeshadow for setting your base. Baked, which was the crease colour, which kind of skipped in some places. You could build it. It was reasonably blendable. So again, for 60p, it wasn't that bad. Brick, again, Brick was probably the best colour out of them all. And I could potentially recommend that one, and I might even use Baked in the future. Nope, Brick, not Baked. Baked was skipped. Pink, trash. Shimmer, I have tons and tons and tons that are 100 times better. You can buy some, and I'm gonna sneeze. That indicates something. There must be quite a lot of like fallout just floating around, because I can just feel it in my nose. Oh, I hate when that happens. You know when you need to sneeze but you don't. The shimmer, there are hundreds that are so much better and still affordable, maybe around £5 or 60p. So if you're really desperate, then they're not bad, but don't expect that you won't have to work with them, because they're quite hard eyeshadows to work with. So I would honestly prefer to buy a sleek palette with loads of shades, that most of them are pretty good and blendable and pigmented, and they would cost you maybe twice as much as these. So it just depends what you're going for. By the way, what I have on my lips is Sleek Makeup lipstick in Dare 791, and I topped it with the new lip gloss that I bought, and it's called Tag Me. Just don't bother buying them. Maybe Brick, maybe. But try them out for yourself. I want to hear your thoughts on it as well. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you kind of enjoy what I've got on my eyes trying to work with these. I'm not crazy happy with it, but it doesn't look bad. It definitely doesn't look as if someone was gonna see me and be like, I can tell she's wearing 60p eyeshadow on her eyes. But it's nothing, it's not something I would choose to wear. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you subscribe. I hope you like this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.